Alright guys, section 3 is Atlantic slave trade. In section 1 and in section 2 we're talking about the age of discovery. We said that it started with the Spanish and the Portuguese, mainly the Spanish. Then it was continued with the North African countries like UK, France and Dutch. In section 3 we are going to study about one of the major consequences of the age of discovery. Yes, we talked a little bit about it before the quiz last time, but just let's repeat. So, the Atlantic slave trade. The first question we have to start with is why there was a need for people. For what? Why did they enslave people? Yes,
to work.
to work. So there was a need for workers. Alright. Well, why there was a need for workers? What happened to the people who were living there, the natives?
Many of the natives died out.
Died out of what? Diseases or during the fight. Exactly. So this is why there was a need for workers. Now the second question is, if there was a need for workers, then why the European focused on getting Africans and not somebody else? Yes, first of all, physically tough, and blowing the lands needed people. Number two, yes, experience. They were already working in farming in their countries, in their continent before, and Europeans already developed good contact with the Africans before the age of discovery starts, so they already know that they are very skillful in farming. And number three, the skin color, because they can hardly actually escape. First of all, they don't know their way through the jungle if they want to escape to do the same as the native people. Or number two, if they escape, actually you can hardly catch them due to their skin color. Now, a misunderstanding is when we always refer to state of slavery, we always refer to the African who were enslaved by Europeans to go and work in the New World, in Latin or North America. Although it started way before. If we just want to follow the timeline, and then we will go back to this slide. If you look at this timeline, you will see that Europeans started the age of slavery here around the 1500s. While it started in 650 with the Arabs and with the Muslims, mainly those who were actually trying to, under the flag of Islam, trying to spread Islam in Africa. So, however, slavery during the Muslim period of time was a little bit different from slavery under European in America, because slaves under Islam had certain rights. They were, for example, allowed to work, they were allowed to get paid, they were also allowed to get married, and sometimes they were allowed to get their freedom. So, slavery was not the same as the slavery in Europe or done by Europeans, and actually, Africans were treated harshly, as we're going to see. Now, we talked about the demand for Africans and why they brought Africans. Now, this process of bringing Africans from Africa to either North America or South America was always referred to as the Atlantic slave trade. Atlantic slave trade. It started in the 1500s, and by the time it was abolished, 1870, so for 370 years, there were about 9.5 million Africans who were enslaved. Now, who started this process in Europe? The Portuguese and the Spanish. Now, the Portuguese and the Spanish alone brought around 300,000 Africans to the new land, to South America, Latin America. Out of these 300,000 Africans, 40% were transferred to Brazil. And who used to occupy Brazil or colonize Brazil? Spain or Portugal? Portugal, exactly. So, now, it started, as I said, with Portugal and Spain, but it was continued with England. England alone brought 4 times, let me say, double the number that was brought by Portugal and Spain. Why? Who can tell me why? Yes,
the most
it's not about this, no?
Yes, it's more slaves, the more it's unaffordable.
You're talking here about the traders. The traders, yeah, exactly. For the traders, it's true. If you get more slaves, you'll get more money, but you're going to sell more. What I'm talking about here, how England alone brought more slaves than 2 countries, Spain and Portugal. Yes, Ali. Yes, they had more land. Spain and Portugal already shared South America. Brazil alone is 50% of the total size of South America. So as if we're saying that South America was divided or shared equally 50-50 between Spain and Portugal. While northern part of America, I mean the North American continent, was totally dominated by the British because we already studied how the British kicked out the French and the Dutch. Remember? So they needed more number of workers, I mean slaves. Now, for sure, it wasn't an easy process for the Africans, so for sure they will not accept it. So this is why they resisted. It happened a lot that they resisted, but unfortunately most of their resisting movements, or all of them, were failing resisting movements. Now guys, the misunderstanding, or another misunderstanding is, everybody thinks that life of those slaves were miserable in America, in the New World. True. But the miserable life starts the moment they are on board the ship. It wasn't only when they arrived to America. Right? So just imagine, for example, looking at this, where is it here? Look at this one. Just imagine how slaves were actually put in shelves on board. Okay, shelves. Like for example, you have this table, this is a shelf, just imagine between the shelf and another shelf above, kind of like 50 centimeter distance. And the slaves were like actually laying down like this. They were laying down like this and they had their legs actually enchained. And just imagine if you are enchained with others and you're laying down like this, you cannot even move up, right? Because your head will be hitting the shelf around. And also you cannot turn neither to the right nor to the left. So just imagine this kind of thing. And in 11D I was talking to them, and also somebody asked me about how they used to go to the toilet, for example.
They don't let them.
Yeah, no, sometimes actually, first of all, Europeans did not usually give them like a lot to eat. For so many reasons, not only because they don't want them to go to the toilet. Also, they don't want them to get fat. Because who's going to buy a fat slave from you? They are, remember, they are brought there for working. So you need fit people to work. So it happened a lot actually. This is just one example of the miserable life. Also, you can just imagine how they were beaten, physically abused. For example, the females were raped. For example, yes, Mister. Who was an example?
Everyone died from diseases.
Lots of them died of disease. And by the way, while they are on board, if any of these slaves got sick, he might infect others. So it's a loss for the trader. So they will just throw him in the ocean. And it happened also in certain cases where those slaves are enchained intentionally, to go up to the board and like just to move. They were forced to move because they don't want them to get fat. Remember, the journey used to take kind of 30 days. 30 days being sit or laying down and eating, you will be getting fat. So while they are on board and they are unchained, some of them wanted to get rid of this miserable life. What kind of life is this? And who knows what will be next step when they go to America? It will be even worse. So they just jump and die. Let me die one time before I have this kind of miserable life and I will die every day. Right? So that was kind of the miserable life they were having actually there in so we talked about the harsh life now. Let's just read. They were first export. Okay. Now the moment they arrive, and those who can make it to arrive, let me say a kind of estimation. Every journey used to go from Africa to either North or South America. Kind of 20% of all the enslaved on board used to die, either die or killed or whatever. So only 80% of every journey used to arrive safely. Now, once you arrive there, all right, the first thing you will be exposed to is you will be put in a bed. You know what is a bed? Bed, not B-E-D, B-I-D.
Yes.
What is a bed?
It's like yes, how much we
Exactly. As if you are getting them as items, you put them in cages where other people come there, the farmers or let me say the owners of the farm, come and then start to ask. It's like an auction, exactly.
Yes.
Okay? And then you will say, for example, all right, I have this, for example, it's tough, he's okay, look at his muscles, all right. So, how much are you going to pay for him? Well, 50,000, all right. Okay, somebody else will say 51, 52, and then you will select the one who's going to pay more. Yeah, exactly. So, I talked about this rebellions, and there were lots of movies that were made about how they resisted, simply how they resisted the moment they were on board, and also how they resisted when they were in America. I don't know if I have. Yeah, okay. I don't want to skip this one. Now, guys, we also talked about this, I guess, last time. Did we talk about the triangular? All right, guys. The process of transferring those Africans to a new land was called the triangular trade. Now, what do you mean exactly by triangular trade? And I want to explain this one on a map. So, look at the map here. We're talking about the triangular slave trade. Why triangular? Because it took place between three places, either from Europe, Africa to North America, or Europe, Africa to South America. So in both cases, it's kind of triangle. All right. Now, thank you. Perfect. We're going to talk about actually the process in a few minutes. Now, guys, look at this. In both cases, this triangle contains the following. Europeans used to take resources from the New World, either North or South America, right? They take these resources, I mean gold, whatever, silver, whatever, they take it back to Europe, they turned it into a finished product. Then they take these products and then they exchange these products in return for slaves. Then they take the slaves and then they sell them to America. Do you see now what it's a triangle?
Yes.
Alright? So, resources, finished products, the finished products will be exchanged in return for slaves and then the slaves will be sold to America. So the money you can actually use it to make more products or items and then the cycle will continue. Yes, Mr.
Stars wasn't England in control of America. Not
So,
didn't they control it?
yes. Yes.
How come they take slaves and sell them? Who basically?
So it's a private issue, by the way, not the government is doing it. Like people who have ships, for example, are taking slaves and then sell them to landowners or the farmers. Now, guys, okay. How Africans were transferred to America? Just try to imagine the process. How do you think it happened? How can you imagine it? A European, for example, just go down to any African village and then certain them by guns and tell them to walk to the ship?
Yes.
Was it like this?
No.
Yes, mister.
They were tricking them.
Tricking them how?
They want
Can
to
you come to my ship? I have some goods for you.
Perfect. That was the first trick. It's the same as the principle of when we go to the market. Do we go to the market or the market comes to us? Why? You cannot get all the items in the market and show them in Europe. So it's the same. Those traders used to come from Europe with like big ships, because you know the capacity of the ship is not at that time. The more the ship is big, the more slaves you can get. And the more slaves you can get, the more money you can get. So, you would just, land off the coast, then you will go to the village and tell them, listen, I have a lot of items, and I cannot carry all the items. You don't have cars at that time, you don't have planes, you don't have, other than the horse or the camel and the horse of the camel, specific capacity. So, what to do? Please come with me and see these items. So they will come. Once they are on board, they will be threatened by guns. If anybody said no, for example, you will be easily killed. Kill one person and then the rest will be succumbing. Yes, mister?
So the government by paying the leaders.
Yeah, the second trick is by paying the fee. Okay, but why did they start the second trick? Because the first trick, exactly, they started actually, yeah, exactly. Those families, the family members of those who are taken, started to recognize that, especially when any European is showing up and calling them to trade in his ship, they go and never come back. So they started to raise some doubts. This is why the second trick was, those European traders used to go to the rulers of the villages and try to, bribe them, kind of exchange kind of thing. For example, giving them guns, especially that this item, the gun, this was not known by the Africans, was not owned by the Africans. And Africa was already and still divided into lots of ethnic groups. Every ethnic group is in a situation of war, let's say, or tension with others. So by possessing this kind of cotton, this might enable them to win over other ethnic groups.
How did they go?
Sorry?
How did they go to
Europeans and Africans developed trading relations way before the age of discovery and the age of slavery. From the 1300s, from the beginning of the Renaissance, they started actually to trade with them. So it wasn't like, it wasn't something like, easy. And it's like very, you can use the body language in the beginning. Like if all the people started with body language, the communication started with body language, then it developed to other forms. It's easy, for example, I can go to you and I can say, without even talking. Alright. It's the same, by the way, of how Europeans developed kind of communication with the native people. Alright? So, this journey, guys, this journey from Africa to either North or South America was always referred to as the Middle Passage. Why? Because it always happened through the Atlantic, and the Atlantic is located in the middle between Europe and Africa from here, and North and South America from there. So, again, let's go to this slide. This is called the Middle Passage and the triangular trade outside. Any question here, guys? How about any question? Yes, please. Right.
The ship come peace days.
What do you mean when you say?
The Europeans went to Africa.
Okay.
Told them
Yeah.
for trade.
To trade, yeah.
The slave was in the ship.
Country already slaves other than
Yes. Well, even if you have slaves, you would put them like down. If the ship has a boat.
Kafir ولا كان شديد من الجو.
They are calling them to enslave them.
يعني بعد ما.
Alright, now. Okay, guys, we have, I guess, only, one more slide. Now, the effect. Everybody talks about the misery and the harsh life those slave people, those slaves actually witnessed in America, but nobody talks about the consequences of these slaves, the slave trade. Guys, there were two types of consequences in Africa and also another one in America. When it comes to Africa, what will happen to this family, okay, whose father, let me say, and like one or two of its members are gone? What will happen to the family? Collapse. Torn apart. So lots of families actually were torn apart. Number two, it happened that like a whole village was taken as slaves. So what will happen to their culture? Gone. Disappeared. Yes, it happened also that African societies were devastated simply because the introduction and the presence of the guns added to conflicts in the African society, so it added to bloodshed and killing, right? Before they used to use spears and arrows. Yes, mister? Decreasing population. When it comes now to America, it's the other way around. Population increased. Alright? Those Africans who lost their culture, who were enslaved, they took their culture and they imprinted on the American culture. Nowadays, for example, when we talk about the American culture, it's a multicultural culture actually. We don't have like one culture or another, right? Like most of their music is coming from Africa. The jazz, the blues, by the way, right? Those drums, the drum is actually taken from the African. So it also added to the development of the country because who went there to work? The African people, to be forced to work. All right, guys, listen. So, it's the same as when we talk about the Indians here. Right? The Indians here really contributed to the development of the country. Without the Indians, we wouldn't have seen these buildings and these towers down here. Most of the workers are Indians, right? And nobody actually denies how UAE is very fast at building and improving. You can't in any other country, if you don't rely on like a huge number of workers, the same as the Indians here, you can't like do the same as UAE this year. In less than 2 to 20 years or 30 years, they just cannot transfer the country like upside down. They change everything from like radically, let me say, from 0 to E. Right? So it's exactly this case. Now, I want to show you something as long as we're talking about slave trade, and it's really important to know this, guys. Guys, please. Yeah. See here, guys, I want to show you this one. And I want you to focus on this, guys, because I want you to understand simply because you are in grade 11. So you are like, it's a matter of one more year, and then you might like go and study abroad, and you might be like, talking about slavery with other students from different backgrounds. See, guys, this one was taken from. This one was taken from a book. Please, guys. This one was taken from a book actually, and we're talking about McGraw-Hill, which is like a company that produces a book, and also it's a book provider for lots of schools in UAE. We were actually taking McGraw-Hill books actually in certain other departments, but not in the social studies department. This was taken from a book of a grade 9 students studying history in the United States of America. And see here, it was like a mother was teaching her son. And thanks God that still there are some mothers who are teaching their sons when they are like 9 or 10, grade 9 or 10. So she noticed a caption under a photo. She took a photo for this and then she sent it to the Ministry of Education there. Look at this. A caption in the McGraw-Hill education book said that the Atlantic slave trade brought millions of workers from Africa to the southern United States to work. Millions of workers to work. Okay, on agricultural plantations. So, if you don't know anything about the age of slavery and you read this, what are you going to think, Mr. Sharon?
I'm sorry.
Wait, listen. Now, what is the discrimination here? No, there's no discrimination.
They came by will.
Exactly. They came intentionally as workers, right? To work. Did they mention anything about forced labor?
No.
Right.
Deceiving.
Wait.
Yeah.
At the same time, you can also, as an American, let me say, you can project it in another way. Well, it's really good that we opened our country to our African workers. We're doing kind of favor for them. It's a job opportunity that we're creating for them. Now, look at this. This is the caption here. The Atlantic slave trade between the 15 and 1800s brought millions of workers from Africa and South United States to work on agricultural plantations. Look at this, guys. So it seems that she was Afro-American. So she wrote, "We were real hard workers, wasn't we?" Now, tempo. We're still not yet. Guys, be careful. See here. The Atlantic slave trade brought millions of workers. Notice the noun language there. Workers implies wages. So if they were workers, then why didn't you pay them, for example? And as Sharon said, when you talk about workers, it means that they are willingly coming there or going there, right? So this is important for me and for you guys. As a history teacher, I always look at the books, and this is why here in UAE we have something called censorship. If you have the chance to look at your book, does anybody have a book? Do you have a hard copy of the book?
Yes.
Yeah, I need to see this, please. Guys, have you ever noticed when you receive the book that there are certain things taken away, like certain pages are torn apart? Right? Why? What is the reason for this? We have laws and regulations here in the Ministry of Education. And if there are any problems in any of the books, it should be removed, because at the end of the day, these books are American books. So they are describing history from their own point of view. There are certain things that everybody agrees on, but there are different versions of the same story sometimes, and things that we don't agree based on our culture and our religion. So this is one of the things.
Yes.
If you still remember, also 2 years ago, it happened when there was like a problem in one of the history books brought by Shortat School in Dubai. I don't know if you have heard about it or not. I guess I have some photos as well. They brought like a book without censoring it. They assumed that this book was already used in the school, but the new book was just a new copy of the book. So, okay, but the new copy, usually they add certain things on the book. So they did not do any censorship. and they give it to the students. Later on, one of the parents noticed that they were like talking about, for example, in one of the sections, they were talking about suicide bombing. And they were like giving kind of explanation of how to create a bomb, how to be as if they were teaching students how to be like bombers. And there were also a mention for something related to the conflict between Israel and Palestine. You know, we're not allowed to talk about this. And in that caption, actually, they were talking about Palestinians as terrorists and the Israeli as victims.
Yes.
So, we'll record them. So, they were fined, the teacher was sent out of the job, and the head of the department was also sent out of his job, and it was a scandal, and the school lost a lot of their reputation, and they apologized for everybody, they paid the fine, they just withdrew the books. Oh, it's a long story. So, this is why I'm drawing your attention to this, alright? You have to know these things because later on, again, you might be like going to study abroad. We are already living in a multicultural country. We have more than 200 nationalities here in UAE. So, if you went in a discussion with anybody, you have to be prepared. And guys, believe me, I've met a lot of my students who are graduated like before and now they're studying in Europe and America. And most of them told me, yes, we had a lot of discussions and arguments about things that we study here. Because their history sometimes is totally different from ours. So the same event, they have a totally different story about it. Totally different story. Alright, thank you.